How are you doing today? Today we'll be discussing why you need to let go of the past. How and why you need to let go of the past. We need to let go of the past, the hurts, the unmet expectations, the loss, the, hopes and dreams, loss of hopes and dreams, and honestly, it is healthy to move on, and letting go is not giving up. Today we are discussing how and why you should let go of the past. The past is the past. But before I proceed, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Miriam Adepoju. I am the creative director of Chassis Everything. I'm a fashion designer. I help women to feel good and look good in what they wear so they can attract the right kind of clients or the right kind of people. So today we're discussing how to let go of the past. I know a lot of people struggle with betrayal, loss of a loved one, jails, divorce, cheating from spouse, lots and lots and lots of pains that people actually cling on to. But I want to let you know today that you can actually let go of the past. Why? Because the past is the past, and the past should remain where it should be. I listened to a story of a woman, of a lady whose mom was murdered by her father. And today she's an inspiration to everyone out there. Her dad actually murdered her mom right where she and her sister were sleeping when they were small. They were less than 5, at the time. And she shared her story, and you almost shed tears because she had to let go. In her words, she said, clinging on to the past is like, carrying a heavy load, carrying something you can't carry. The load is so heavy you can't carry it, yet you cling to it. You keep remembering and recalling that incident. And the moment you keep remembering and recalling, hi Essie, thank you for joining. Thank you, Elo, for joining. I see you guys. Thank you so much. And the moment you keep clinging on the past, the moment you keep hanging, onto it, it's continues to weigh you down. Remember, I said it is a weight. Clinging on the past is like a weight. I'll share my personal story as well, and how moving on has helped me. Like, if you think sometimes being strong, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option that you have, and that is the truth. I recall way back before I met my husband. In fact, it was just a year before I met my husband. There was this guy that was, on my case, like, hi, he wants to marry me and all that. And I was just fasting because, he seemed all nice, all kind, all, cool and calm and, all the husband material. He was all boo-boo. Let me tell you what happened. He comes to my house. He, pretty much, he will buy stuff. He will say, oh, somebody came to sell jewelries for ladies in my office, and I thought I should get you one. It was just nice. It was kind. It was caring. Let's pray together. Let's do this together. Hey, this guy is the devil in disguise himself. I kid you not. And then something happened. I was fasting and praying when it was disturbing me, because that's my tradition, I pray a lot and I fast a lot. And I was praying to God, and guess what? His friend came over to my house and told me that this guy is married with kids. Yes, his friend. This is like his best friend. They come to my house together, at that time. And he told me. And if I were someone that, clings on to, I love this guy so much. Take it, he's already your past. Already your past. And that was how I was able to move on. Thank you guys for joining. Today we're discussing how to let go, how and why you should let go of your past, And then when he told me, and Carly Bells, Mrs. Josephine, thank you for joining us today. When his friend told me that, look, this guy is married, and I needed to let you know, I needed to tell you, because I noticed you were in the choir, I know that all of that one is an excuse. I know God just wants to take me out of that bondage, in the name of a relationship, So immediately he said it was on the 31st of December of that particular year. So imagine the hopes that, oh, okay, we're getting married the next year and all of that. And then coming to find out that this guy was just a scam. Guess what? I smiled. I don't know where the strength and the courage came from. But you tell yourself, like I said earlier, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option that you have. And guess what? I moved on. Immediately his friend came and told me, look, this guy is married, he has kids, you notice his car is always on child lock and all. And I'm like, oh, okay. When you're pure, when you have nothing to hide, you have that plain mind, you have that open mind. You don't want to suspect everybody that, oh, is this person lying, is this person, and because of him I became skeptical, really. But I had to let go. That same day I let go. This is someone that was on my case. He met my mom once, and he was all that and all that. It's a lie. And I know a lot of people cling onto their past. Some people, you've seen that this is not the way. This is not the way. Obviously, it's glaring, but you're so emotionally attached. You're so, you're like, oh, my life is going to end if I stop this thing. No, it will not end. Your life is not going to end. Thank you, Rama, for joining us. Thank you, Aubrey. Thank you, It's a Perfect Choice, for joining, and thank you, my sweetheart, for joining. Saeed, I see you. So if you keep telling yourself that, oh no, I can't move on, it is true. But if you you have to determine. It has self-determine. Tell yourself that, look, I have to move on from this. I'm way past this. And if you look at a lot of greats today, people like President Barack Obama, his father was absent in his life, but he didn't cling on to that. He didn't cling on to that like, because of this, I can't move on. There's a guy, that follows me on Instagram and is always complaining, oh, I wish my father did not have many wives. I wish my father, I wish. You have to move on. Take this as a message to move on from it. And if you look at people like Kevin Hart, I know I hold Kevin Hart in high regards. He's somebody that inspires me a great deal. Kevin Hart's father was never there, but look at him today. Now that he's great, what happened? His father came back. What if he was clinging to the past? Like, my father was never there for me. My father was never. If you keep telling yourself, it's like carrying that weight on your shoulder. It's like carrying that weight on your head. And you can't carry it. And that's the truth. That's the truth. You can't. You just can't. The past is the past. Let go of the past. I know it can be hard at first. It could be the loss of the loved one, mourning the loss of a loved one. I understand how terrible that can be. I know. But the moment you decide to let go and let God, and honestly, I see letting go of the past as letting God. Yes. When you let go, you let God. And I heard this quote a long time ago. I remember when before I gained admission, and I shared my story last week. Was it last week? How I spent 6 years before I gained admission into the university for my first degree. It's a big deal where I come from. Like staying at home and not gaining admission. And all your younger ones are finished graduating before you gain admission. Somebody said something to me. She said, sometimes we look at closed doors. Sorry. Let me start again. When a door of happiness closes, another one has been opened. But we look so long at the closed door that we don't see the one that has been opened for us. And that is the way it is. Like when one door closes, another one is automatically opened. Yes, that is how God has designed it to be. So when we keep clinging on the past, when we keep hanging on to the past, we don't see that open door. We keep, telling ourselves, man, what do I do? My life has ended. No, your life has not ended, and your life will not end. Hi, Emma Signature. Thank you for joining us today. We're discussing how and why we should let go of the past. And honestly, by the time you let go of the past, you realize how strong you are. You realize that, look, there's life. There's life ahead of you, a whole life ahead of you. And I heard a quote. I heard this quote yesterday. A lot of people die at the age of 25. But they get buried. They're not buried until they are 75. What do I mean by that? At 25, they stop living life. They think it has ended. It's all done and dusted, like done for them. But they are still alive. Like they live life like there's nothing. What's there to live in this life for? There's a lot to live in this life for. So some people die at the age of 25, yet they don't get buried until they are 75. And it means they are clinging on to their past so much, in a way, they are clinging to their past so much and they refuse to let go. They refuse to let go of the hurt, the pain, the disappointments, the loss and all of that, so today we are discussing, yes, mouth signature. If you don't let go of the past, another door will not open. And when you do that, look, when when the guy I shared my story of how a guy was asking me for my hand in marriage and all that, and how I prayed, and how his friend came and told me that look, my friend is married, I needed to tell you that he's married. He was just lying, it's a scam. If I did not let go, if I didn't let go, I wouldn't have met my husband. If I'm still clinging, or I tell him you're lying, it's a lie. It's not a lie. Look, there are some things that are glaring to us, but sometimes we cling so long at, so much at the past that we don't want to see what is ahead. In my language, there's something called, they say, taban sukun kamarino. It means even when you're crying, make sure that you are saying. You don't cry with don't close your two eyes while you're crying. No. You grieve. That's what I mean. Like when you're grieving, make sure that you are saying. Make sure that you are still saying. So you don't grieve so much that you tell yourself it's over, like it has ended. My life. No, it has not. Look, another chapter is about to open in your life. A greater chapter is about to open. So please, don't cling on to the past. It doesn't do you any good. I heard of the story of a woman. She was telling my mom at that time. I was still in the university. She was telling my mom how her husband, jilted her and all of that, and she was crying. I think she was living in the UK then. She was coming over to Nigeria, and then she was crying. She was in the plane. She met her new husband in the plane. She moved on right there in the plane. So imagine if she clings, she kept on clinging and clinging. I saw the story of a lady last week, how she was bathed in acid. She was bathed in acid by her husband, her so-called husband, her ex-husband. This guy has been showing signs of domestic abuse, right? But she can't just let go. She was just hanging on and hanging. Man, the guy finished her face. Like she was done. But there were times she had the opportunity to walk out. She had the opportunity to let go. You already know that this guy is already past tense. But they kept clinging and clinging, and, it was very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate, So we pray and hope that none of that experience will be ours in the mighty name of Jesus. And I recall we used to sing this song when I was in the choir back in Nigeria. We used to sing this song that I've had my shares of ups and downs. If you know the song, you can come with me. Times when there was no one around, God came and spoke these words to me. Praise will confuse the enemy. I started singing, I started clapping, I started dancing. People were laughing, they knew my problem, they knew my pains, but I knew God will take them away. That's how I don't know if you know the song, but you can, sing the song along with me. But the song is trying to say that, despite the fact that people know that you have no reason to be happy. People know that, you have every reason to cry, to be sad. But no, you can choose not to be sad. You can choose to be happy. You can choose to praise God all the way through. Praise your way through the storm, and you will get over it. It's a decision you have to make yourself. Tell yourself, look, this is not my last chapter. I'm moving on. God has something greater in stock for me. So whatever happens, you already have that mindset of moving on. Have that mindset of, letting go. Letting go. And like I said, the moment you decide to let go, you let God. Yes. And yes, I know a lot of people take to addictions like drinking, smoking. It destroys. It destroys. It can never take the place of God. Only God can fill that void. I understand a lot of people, have gone through rape, gone through, child abuse and so many of these unthinkable vices, but trust me, by the moment you begin to let go of the past, the moment you begin to tell yourself, look, I am way past this, I am more than this, I'm made for more. Thank you for joining us, Mama Creations. Today we're discussing how to let go of the past and why you should let go of the past, so yeah, I'll be sharing why we should let go of the past at this point. Number one, you will realize a new positive version of yourself. Like I said earlier, if you think, if you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only option that you have. When you move on, you now begin to see yourself in a new light. You see that, you can actually move past this thing. Like, it's not the end of life. It's not the end of the world. God still has something better in stock for you, so you discover that there's a new positive version of yourself that you didn't even know about, before that time, and you'll be thankful. You'll be thinking, if I share all of my experiences, you'll be like, and you are still standing. Yes, I'm still standing. No, I have seen it all. That's the truth. So number two, you will make room for the new. Yes. If you don't clear, you need to clear out the old, things to allow, new things to come in. So clear it, your past. You have to clear it off, so that you can move on in life, so that you can, make room for the new. And at this point, I want to give a special shout out to the Quivers Creche and Preschool located at Femi Ayontunga, Surulere, Lagos. This school, they open at super convenient hours, between the hours of 6:15 a.m. to 9 a.m. and they have the state-of-the-art security in the school. They offer child-focused facilities and education. They provide overnight care services. So if you're in Lagos and you're thinking of where to drop your child, enroll your child, for school, they take from like 0 years till, yes, if your child is 2 weeks old, they can take your child and take care of your child. So if you're traveling, maybe you're going to United Nations and you're a single mom and you have a career that involves a lot of traveling, the Quavers Creche and Preschool is there for you. They offer special classes, the gym, dance, memory games and all of that. So enroll your students, your kids today, and you will not regret it. They also offer convenient payment options. So let's go back to the topic for today. So number three, how you can let go of the past. You will handle new obstacles with grace. Yes, since you have handled something greater, when you have another obstacle coming your way, you're like, oh, please, I've dealt with something bigger than this one in the past. And, you're stronger, you're wiser, you're smarter, and you have learned how to, let go. And when you see in the face of, adversities, you have even moved on. Right before it happened. I was talking to my sister-in-law some days ago. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I was telling her, look, I had this opportunity that I was already banking on. I've used it before and I've used the platform before and all of that. And all of a sudden I was rejected. And guess what? I moved on. I just moved on. Why? Because I have experienced a lot of setbacks and I have moved on. And this one is just like the tip of the iceberg. You're able to move on. You will handle new obstacles with grace. Like I said, if when a door of happiness closes, another one has opened. But we look so long at the one that has been closed that we refuse to see the one that has been opened for us. And that is the truth. So when you tell yourself, okay, this door has closed, this opportunity is gone, another one is there waiting for me. So let's not keep looking and drooling over loss or crying over spilled milk. So tell yourself that you're going to handle new obstacles with grace, and that's the truth. So number four, you will learn to love yourself first. Yes, a lot of people actually struggle with lack of self-love, and that is why they cling onto dead relationships. They cling onto abusive relationships, abusive partners, abusive, even business relationships. They don't know when to say no. They don't know when to draw that line. They don't know when to. They don't even have that self-confidence in themselves, to say no or to even reject business relationships that are not going to yield, positive results, or business relationships that they know this client is a troublesome client. Once you see, you can smell that from a distance, you can always say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't take this offer right now. Today we're discussing, for those of you that are just joining us, thank you for joining. We're discussing how and why you should let go of the past. So number four, you will inspire others. When you let go, you'll be able to tell your story. Like I'm telling my story now. I shared my story of how I left a relationship that was not meant to work, and a lot of people actually cling and they cling and cling and cling until they miss the door that has been opened for them. So number six is you will grow closer to your destiny. We're all here for a purpose. Every experience and every hardship, every burden, and even all hurts, they have shaped us and formed us into what God wants us to be. It only makes you better. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I'm sure you've heard that song before. And then number seven is you will naturally attract what you need. There's a reason why these things are happening. Abundance is the process of letting go. That which is empty, can receive. There's a piece of your past that no longer fits in your life, and it came to you at a time when you were a much different person, and now trust me, you're no longer that same person that you were 10 years ago. You can't. Were you the same person that you used to be 10 years ago? No, that's not possible. You have grown. You are now more mature, and you know how to handle things much, much better. You're a different person now, and with all of the wealth of experiences that you have gathered over the years, you can now handle more obstacles better and smarter than ever before. And the eighth point is, you will realize that you are really all you need. That is the truth. You don't need validation from somebody. You don't need that, how do I put it, like that attachment, that emotional attachment to whatever it is that you're clinging on to. You're really all that you need. Honestly, you move on, and then you get better. You move past it and let other doors, enjoy those other doors that have been opened for you. Another thing that you will learn along the way is that you will grow in your empathy for others. When you've gone through heartbreak before, business, like loss of business relationship, loss of, you made a very terrible business deal, and it cost you a lot. You have more empathy for people. When people are telling their stories, you can relate, you can easily relate, and you can, inspire them as well and help them on their journey to recovery. And that is the truth. And then honestly, number 10 is, you will know in your heart what is good for you. These things, you garner experience with time, and you learn to let go of that thing, that past that is hunting you down. Like I said earlier, your past is like a weight, a whole big weight, resting on your shoulders. And the last thing you want is to keep carrying that weight to the grave. And like I said earlier, some people die at the age of 25, but they don't get buried until they are 75. That's because they are clinging on to the past. They are clinging on to the weight of those terrible memories. The moment you keep clinging on to that, you are giving it more energy, in your head. You are multiplying the effects again in your head, and it becomes like a cycle. It's like a vicious cycle that never ends. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to just relax and tell yourself, look, I need to let go. I need to let go and let God. If you're a Christian, you can pray. Just pray to God and tell God, oh, look, this thing, I don't want to reminisce this feeling anymore. I don't want to remember this thing again. I don't want to keep dwelling in it again, because honestly, when you keep dwelling in the past, it will take away what you need today. It will take away your being. It will take away that energy. It brings in this kind of negative energy, and it sucks you, like it sniffs life out of you, and that's the last thing you want to happen to you. And honestly, at the end of a relationship, we experience things that are just not good for us, and it can be inflicted. Also note that these people that inflict such pains on us are probably carrying pains from somewhere, and like I said, you can't give what you don't have. Those people have inflicted pains on you, and now you are carrying it. Now tell yourself, it doesn't belong to me. Just drop it. These pains don't belong to me. Drop it straight up and move on. I know it is hard, to just say move on just like that. Do you have an idea how I felt, how I did this, how I did that? But trust me, the moment you start to move on from those obstacles, the moment you tell yourself, look, I am not bound by this error, I'm not bound by this mistake. Your past is your past. Your past is not who you are, So, and God is writing a greater chapter of your life. But the moment you refuse to let go, the moment you keep on clinging to things that have happened to you in the past, you just find it, very hard, very, very hard to move on. And you have to tell yourself, you have to keep telling yourself every single day, have you experienced any kind of hurt, and how did you let go? Please tell us in the comments, how did you manage to let go of those hurt, those pains? How did you do it? What were the steps that you took? What were the books you read? Or what were the things that you did, the exercises that you had to do? And another thing, a way that you can also let go of the past very quickly is by engaging in activities that will take your mind away from you. When you get busy, when you get so busy, you don't think of things that are irrelevant. Those things they get into the junk, and you have no time to even think about it. So by the time you get busy, maybe you enroll in a school, maybe for a college degree or for an associate degree or whatever it is, or you enroll for maybe a course, You can just enroll in something that would take your mind away from it, but something positive. Just engage yourself in something positive, rather than taking to drinking. It makes things worse, or smoking, or taking drugs, or going into all these funny stuffs, just to take the pain. It will never take the pain away. You have to tell yourself, decide for yourself, by yourself, like, look, I am moving away, I'm moving off, like, I have moved on from this. This thing doesn't define me. This thing doesn't, it doesn't define who I am. I am more than my past. My past is my past, and you can't have a better past, but trust me, you can have a greater future. Your past is not something that you can control. It happens. Everything that happened must have happened for a reason, and you have to let go. A lady shared her story of how her father, was abusing her mom right when she was small, and she was in it. She was right there. Her father had a girlfriend that he brings home, and then she is the one that would go check and make sure that she herself was the one that would go and check and make sure that her mom was sleeping. Okay, her mom is sleeping, and she would go and tell her dad, oh, mommy is sleeping, bring up. She was friends with the lady. It got to a point. It was a British, it happened in the UK. It got to a point that her father just got so comfortable bringing the woman home. Like, it doesn't matter if his wife sees the woman, and then they kept on doing that right in her mom's presence. Her mom was sad, she was bitter. She tried to talk to her, but because she wasn't grown as such, she was about 10 or 11, but she was aiding what her dad was doing. She didn't know what she was doing. Of course, she wasn't mature. She didn't know what she was doing at that point in time. And then her father, was dating this woman, took her to the matrimonial bedroom, and did all sorts. And then one day, guess what happened? Her mom went missing. And it was a search. You will not believe it took 30 years for this lady to find where her father dumped her mom. Like, she just, disappeared from the surface of the earth. Whether she was killed or she was maimed, or, but she regretted, aiding it. After all, of course, she doesn't know what she was doing at the time. She aided her father, having a girlfriend, bringing the girlfriend home, even when her mom was there, and then, doing everything, getting close to the woman, to her father's girlfriend, not knowing that they don't have her own interest at heart. Today, she mourns her mom, and honestly, she's looking for closure. Like, she just needs to move past this. This happened. She just has to assume that her mom was killed. But she was hurt. She was hurt because she aided it. She was hurt because, trust me, she didn't know what she was doing, but she has to let go. She has to let go and keep reminding herself that, look, I didn't know what I was doing when I was helping my dad to woo this woman in and to bring her into my parents' matrimonial home. She's married now, but honestly, she's still looking for closure to this issue. So sometimes our past, brings in this weight. Like, the moment you think about it, it brings this, you don't want that weight. So what's the best thing you can do is just let go. Or anytime that thought comes to you, just pray and let go and believe that God has already sorted it. God has settled it. God has handled everything. You don't need to worry. You don't need to fear. You don't need to, fret about it. And like I said, always tell yourself, when you let go, you let God. Whenever you let go of anything, you let God. You let go of any opportunity, of any heartbreak, of any loss, of anything it is, whatever it is. Remember that you can't even handle it yourself in the first place. And it is not even meant to be handled by you, because you are not your own creator. The creator created you for a reason, for a purpose. And you don't have to, keep disturbing yourself or stressing yourself over whatever it is. So tell yourself, look, I can do it. And like I said earlier, I'm just going to highlight the pointers that I gave on the reasons why you should let go of the past. When you let go of the past, you realize that you have a new positive version of yourself. Number 2 is you will make room for the new. Whenever you let go of the past, there's something, you're making room for new things to come in. Unlike when your house is full, or your heart is full of those hurts, the pains, and all of that. Let go so that new things, you make room for new things. And then number 3, you will handle new obstacles with grace. You know that, oh, this thing has happened. I've seen it before, and then you can handle new obstacles, like I said, with grace, with so much grace and so much ease that it looks like, man, are you immune to pains? Yes. You get immune to it with time. You can move on. You can easily move on. And then number 4, you will learn to love yourself first. Yes, so self-love is very key. And when you love yourself, you find out that you're able to move past a lot of nonsense very quickly. I've seen stories of women, single mothers here in America, that have like 9 children for 9 different men, and these women still went to school to get a college degree, still lawyers, honestly. So I mean, it doesn't matter what you have gone through, or it doesn't matter what you have to go through in the past. Tell yourself you can do it, and honestly, you will do it. You will survive. That you're here for a reason, and you are here to survive, and you will definitely survive the storm. The storm is not meant to last forever. Always remind yourself, the storm is not meant to swallow you. It's not meant to consume you. You are there. You are stronger than you think. And then number 5 is you will inspire other people. You can share your story. You are a success story already. Why? Because you have risen above the storm. You have risen against all odds. You will inspire other people with your story. Another thing is you will grow closer to your destiny. But if you keep clinging onto the past, you cannot move forward. You have to let go of those hurts, the pains, the weight of those pains. Take it off your heart. Like, take it off your chest. Let it go. Let it off. And you will grow closer to your destiny. Another point is that you will naturally attract what you need. Yes, by letting go of what you don't need, you will naturally begin to attract what you need. I shared my story of how I met my husband right after letting go of the guy who lied, to me, not knowing that he was married with kids. If I didn't let go, I wouldn't have met my husband, who is a blessing to me today. So you will also realize that you really are all that you need. You are all you need. You don't need any validation from anybody. You don't need them to cling to anybody. You don't need to tell yourself that, oh my God, my life is going to come to an end if I do away with you. Like, you can't even imagine yourself doing away with you. Hey, yes, you can move on. Trust me, God has given you all that you need, all that it takes to move on. He has equipped you. You are greater. You are wonderfully and fearfully made. Always remind yourself, always tell yourself. So why should you cling on to something that is hurting? Why should you cling on to something that is that is a great weight on your head, that is not making you move forward? A weight, like when you carry something that is too heavy on your head, you can't even move. It prevents you from moving forward. So what do? You move, you shift it to one side, or you throw it off, shrug it off, and do what? Move on. And I don't know who needs to hear this today, but please, you need to take away those things, those pains, those hurts that you have been clinging on, and please move on. Another reason why you should let go is that you will also grow in empathy, in your empathy for other people. You will understand what it feels. You will feel their pains. You will know what they are going through, and you're able to offer advices that would help them to overcome whatever it is that they are going through. So another reason that you should let go is that you will know in your heart what is good for you. So at the end of the day, what are you doing? You have gathered enough experience, and you are stronger, you are better, you're wiser, you're smarter, and you can handle everything that comes across your way. With God on your side, you will overcome by the special grace of God. If you need someone to talk to, I am available. I'll leave my link in the description below, so please feel free to reach out to me if you need someone to discuss whatever it is that you're going through. And I pray by the special grace of God, whatever is hindering you from moving on, the Lord will help you. He will carry that weight for you. So on this note, I would like to say thank you so much, guys, for listening. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please help me subscribe to my channel, and let's take this let's try to move this message to as many people as possible. Please feel free to share this video as well. I'll be dropping this video on YouTube for the benefit of those that missed it. So I'll see you again next week by God's grace with another powerful and inspiring topic. Thank you so much for making it a date with me today. I remain your girl, Chastise. Take care of yourselves, and God bless you. Bye.